f parentheses x and parentheses is read as f of x, or the function f evaluated at x, which means the output of the function when the input is x. Does that make sense? So g of x, how would you read that? Well, I just did, huh? As you might guess, the more common way to read it is the shorter way. Scarman?
Is that on our notes?
It should be on the notes, like the next thing after the vocabulary. It says, what is function notation? Is that right? Oh, sorry, not vocabulary, this thing.
Well, yeah.
Right after that, does it say what is function notation?
Yeah, but
Yes,
there's nothing
there's
after
nothing under
that.
that.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry, that's what I wanted you to say. Something like that. I guess you can use your own words, of course, is always better. But wanted to help you out there. More commonly, we would read this as g of x. I guess instead of just asking what it is, I should have maybe said, how do you read it? Because I'd like you to know how to say it. We could also read this as the function g evaluated at x. So g of x would be the output for the function g when the input is x. So this becomes really convenient because we can kind of use the function notation to name different functions. So like, remember way back when we were working with systems, we had like 2 lines. Well, this is really nice because I could have one function be f of x and another function be g of x. Another thing maybe to note is that one maybe simplification here is we are just replacing y with that thing f parentheses x. We're replacing y with f of x. In that way of thinking of x as our input, y as our output. X is our input, f of x is our output. How we doing? Okay, next. Good luck. Try to sort the cards to the corresponding function. Check with your partner when you think you got it. Or any of them giving you a hard time. I guess I have this example. We're used to seeing y equals 2x plus 5. Function notation, f of x equals 2x plus 5 is how we're going to see that. How you doing with the card sorting? Ooh, table infinity. Gabe, what do you think? Which one do you think goes with f of x?
I think that maybe the first one that's up there.
I guess on mine I didn't mix them up very well. Does that seem about right? F of x equals 2x minus 3. Hopefully this looks somewhat familiar. This is slope-intercept form. I can see the intercept, minus 3. I can see the slope, 2, positive 2. Nice. How about table y? Carson. What do you think about g of x? Which one do you think that is?
In the middle.
Middle of this one?
Yeah.
Nice. It's got a negative slope. Negative x plus 2. Okay, now for the hard ones. How about radical table? Anderson.
Okay.
Radical table 3.
So for C,
This is a tricky one.
alright. I got the one that's 5,
This
letter
one.
D, yeah.
What do people think? Yeah? Okay, cool. Getting ahead of here with these funky graphs. And how about phi table number 2? We don't have a 2. I guess Daisy? Which one goes with P? Ding, ding, ding. Congratulations. Yeah, notice how these are different. I think that might be the tricky one. Let's see. When x is 0, h of 0, what's h of 0? That's when x is 0. So what's 0 squared minus 1? That's negative 1. That's the the y-intercept. When x is 0 here, we get negative 3. So that's kind of at least one key. Notice one graph is like narrower than the other. Some things to see. Okay. Whew. How you doing? Here's a function. F of x equals opposite x plus 3. And here's a weird way to say a point. Negative 1 comma f of negative 1. What is that point? Let me see if I can figure this out. Okay. What are we saying? X is negative 1, and we're saying f of negative 1. So really, we're saying, what's that point on the line when x is negative 1? And f of negative 1 is the function evaluated when x is negative 1. Evaluated at the point when x is negative 1. I got opposite negative 1 plus 3 is 4. What are we counting by here? It looks like 1. Oh, negative 1 is way back here, huh? Whew, that scared me. This is positive 4. Right? So this point would be negative 1, 4. Would be a much simpler and more common way to write that point. How about, alright, check with your partner. Let's see where we're at. Ooh, 0, f of 0, that's an important one. Check with your neighbor. Did that make sense? Yeah. I know it looks a little bit different on the board, sorry. Did I skip something?
No, I'm done practice.
Dang. Jumping ahead of me. So what do you think in 0, f of 0, how could you rewrite that?
You gotta like plug it into the equation.
Plug it into the equation. F of 0 equals opposite of 0 plus 3. Something, is that what you're thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Did you get 0, 3?
Yeah.
F of 0, important to see like why you might see that. What is that? What's the name for that? The y-intercept. It's when x is 0, right? Yeah, the y-intercept. F of 0 is the y-intercept. How you doing? Avery, what are you thinking 1 f of 1 could be?
Is it 2?
Nice, that's like the point I mistakenly marked at first, huh? 1, 2. It's just that point on the line when x is 1. But also, of course, evaluated when x is 1. Opposite of 1 plus 3 is 2. Awesome. And Dylan, what do you think in 2, comma f of 2? How could we rewrite that?
Two comma one.
Nice. When x is 2, y is 1. The output of this function is 1. How you doing? Like, hopefully familiar. Alright, very excited to go to the parking lot. Isn't that where all the cool kids hang out? I don't know. I was never invited to the parking lot. Anyway, once. I went to the parking lot once. It was cool. Got some, it was Albertsons. They had some cheap sodas. They're 25 cents back in the day. Alright, sorry. Nostalgia hit me hard. Okay. 50 cents
50
for every half hour and everything in between. So you go for, you go for a half hour, it's 50 cents. You go for 20 minutes, you're still paying for that half hour. Does that make sense? Okay. Luckily, max is out. $10, you're good for the day. T, we're going to use for time, minutes. We're going to use, how would you read that? Jeff?
C times 2t.
Cool. How do I want you to read it?
CT.
C of t. Nice. C of t. Okay. One thing I didn't mention way back when. Oh dear. With our definitions. It's okay if you don't write this down, but maybe get this in our heads. We think of this relationship with independent, dependent variable. The dependent variable is a function of the independent variable. So that's kind of where this language comes from, why we say of, a function of. The dependent variable is a function of the independent variable. Okay, whoa. Alright. You got a table, and then we're going to attempt the graph. I hope the graph goes well. I tried. I put thought into these things. We'll see how it goes. Check with your table neighbors, your neighbor tables. We thinking the same thing here. 0 minutes. You're saying I don't have to pay? $0? Oh, you're saying I do pay 50 cents. Maybe the hardest point here. What do you think? 0 minutes. How much am I gonna have to pay? Why are you thinking $0? Mindy?
Okay. I assumed that it was also 0 seconds.
Okay.
If you're not in the parking
Yeah.
lot, you don't have to pay.
So like we haven't entered the parking lot yet.
But if it's like 0 minutes, but like 10 seconds, then I guess you have to pay.
I feel like I'd be arguing if I had to pay for 0 minutes. I don't know.
I think it's 50 cents.
Why do you think it's 50 cents, man?
No, I just, well, cause like, you've been there for, I don't know.
Cause you're there.
Yeah.
You gotta pay 50 cents to enter the parking lot.
Yeah.
So the question is, have we entered the parking lot at 0? What do people think?
Wait.
No. Table X is saying no. Radical table saying yes?
No, I say no.
Oh, you're just, okay, yeah.
Wait, but you don't have to pay to enter. You just enter, and then when you leave, you have to pay.
Okay. So you go there, you're like, I wasn't even here. Why are you charging
when you
me?
enter, don't you get like a ticket?
Okay.
And then like you have to.
I can see it either way. I'm not gonna fault you on it, Mads or anybody else. What are people thinking? You're saying charge.
I mean, it depends on, cause like Mindy said, they might give you like a thing that you have to pay when you leave.
Right, that's what I would
And they
think.
might have a thing where you just have
If
to
I
pay
go
to
and
get
I'm
in.
like, I was here for 0 minutes, what, you're making me pay?
Well,
I mean, that would just seem weird, right? Like, they'd be like, you were here, how are you here for 0 minutes? Scarlett, what
Well,
do you?
technically, you could just key in there. It says a charge for each half hour. It doesn't say you were there.
Okay. Alright, I'm gonna let you decide if this is 0 or 50 cents.
well, it's like going to the movies and then watching 0 minutes of the movie and then saying you shouldn't have paid for the movie because you didn't watch it.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna fight that one.
Really? If you were sleeping during the movie, you're gonna go tell them that
Oh, I've
not
done,
watching it. That you
that's
didn't
what I
watch
do.
it.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like,
I have fallen asleep at movies and you're right, I do pay.
yeah, you don't.
It feels like I'm
You don't-
paying doubly.
You
Like,
don't go back and get
paying to
it.
take a nap. How about 15 minutes? How much would that cost you? You go, you realize this is maybe the more likely scenario. You're like, I really just should try to leave. Try to get that 0. Anderson, what are you thinking?
Sorry. I say 25 cents.
25 cents.
I mean, yeah, 25 cents because it says every half hour you get charged 50 cents, and since it's
A half of
a
a half
quarter
hour.
of an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do y'all think? You're saying 0.5. Mads, you're saying 0.5. Grant, you're saying?
Yeah, because it says, for each half hour or fraction thereof.
Okay, so for each half hour or fraction thereof, so a half hour or less, you're paying 50 cents. But if we were charging a rate of 50 cents per half hour, then 25 cents would make sense. Okay, so Anderson, you're fighting at the gate as well.
I missed that.
We're both fighting. I'm like, I was 0, and you're like, come on, half of a half hour is 25. Okay, I like it. What about 20 minutes? What do you think there, Dylan?
50 cents.
50 cents still, okay. 35 minutes.
$1.
We tried to make the half hour, what, $1? Yeah, you're like over into the next realm. 75 minutes. You're actually doing things.
Did you still have a minute and?
Okay, this is a minute and then some?
Yeah, a minute and 15 seconds.
So a minute and 15 cents.
Or a minute and 15 seconds.
What is the parking lot like?
Is that what I'm paying?
Go
No,
to though.
but I was just trying to.
Oh, what are you paying?
I would not want to pay $1.50.
$1.50.
Would you?
125 minutes.
I don't know what you're doing, but
You went to the movie.
that's
$2.50. Sweet. Okay. What does the graph look like? We're looking between 0 and 180. So you're going to click on the graph. Oh dear. And hopefully it is editable. If you click on it and then the bottom left, there's a edit button. Let's see if I can join you here.
It just, oh yeah, it works.
It does work?
Wait, can you put like the graph up there? Because we can't look at both.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, you're good.
Thank you. Oh. Okay, it's gonna work out. Oh, that didn't work. Let me, dear. A little bit faint here. But let's see what your graph looks like. Are you able to like put a line on it? Oh dear. Ooh, you shaded it like an inequality. Interesting.
Oh, this is weird. Okay.
Alright, let's think this through. This is weird. I don't know if you've seen it. Ooh,
I
Nope.
don't.
help me see what you're doing there. Okay, 0. Are you gonna count $0, or are you gonna count it as 1? I don't know. Not both, whatever, or sorry, 50 cents. Please don't do both. How much let's see, what did you say for 15 minutes? Wasn't that 50 cents? 20 minutes? Okay, what about 10 minutes? Everything that's more than a 0. What about 30 minutes on the dot? You got it. You gonna pay 50 cents or $1?
50 cents.
You can pay 50 cents, right?
Oh.
Okay, this part is hard to do. The line though, you can do a line tool, right? That part should be easy. That's kind of what I want you to see. If you don't put like an end point there, cool. Set.
I was just nothing.
Scarlett, that's kind of what you had, isn't it?
Kind of what I was.
Ooh, okay, I like what I'm seeing. Daisy, you're like marking these points like, okay, 60 minutes, you're paying $1, right? I like that. 90 minutes, $1.50. 120 minutes, $2. 150 minutes, $2.50. What do y'all think of this? I like it. Okay, it's tempting to draw a line connecting all these, yeah? You're not tempted. Okay, I like it. Nice. Yeah. What's going on here? Mads, why did you have this line here?
Because it's like, we're, it's not like constant.
Yeah. Right, yeah. It's not really a rate, it's like intervals, right? Between 30 and 60, how much you gonna pay? 35 minutes, wasn't that one of the things in our table? How much did you pay for 35 minutes? $1, so that point should be on my graph. 35 minutes should cost $1. How about 31 minutes? $1. 30.002 minutes. Probably $1, but I might mark that 30 is not included on the $1. It is included on the 50 cents. But anything over 30 minutes is gonna cost me 50 more cents, right? Do you kind of see what's going on here? It might be tempting to connect these, but I would say there's like a jump. 30 minutes, cool, here's 50 cents. 30.01 minutes, sorry. I mean, I might be arguing that. Come on, round down. 50 cents. How about, where was 75 minutes? Wasn't that about 50? 60 minutes and 1 second. Sorry. What do you think? Is this bringing back good memories of graphing inequalities? What was that?
I hate it.
You hate.
You can't get the dot like exactly on the line.
Oh my goodness, I am so sorry.
Look at that. It's so ugly. It's like a little bit
I'm
below
very
that.
cool with that one. I'm like, that one's okay.
But that's so ugly.
Make it bigger?
Maybe. Then it won't be even with the other one.
So you don't you want the dot on the lattice point, the grid lines where they cross?
Oh, but I want a graph like the place that we had in C.
Oh, I like that too. Okay. Well, I am so sorry. Okay, Google Draw is not what I hoped it would be, admittedly. But I did, maybe I should say it's okay. I mean, my drawing's not that great. Does this make sense? So, kind of thinking of the graph, want to ask the question, is C a function of t? Is t a function of c? Were you able to, don't worry too much about the points, like I said. I mean, super awesome to get the hollow points on the end here and the filled in, I mean, that is super terrific. But I really just want you to see, like, this is what we call a step function. It's like constant from 0, you know, if I don't include, okay, you know, that's going to be different if you include 0 as 50, but it's the same value all the way up until 30, and then it takes a step to the next level. Westest greatest number at your table. Will you pose the question, is C a function of t?
Is C a function of t?
Say it to make sure they know who you're asking.
Is C a function of T?
Gabe, Dylan.
Maybe you can holler over at Dylan or Anderson.
Anderson. Is C a function of T?
Wait, it asks the question what? Is C a function of
It
T?
does it.
I would say.
Did I accidentally say the same thing?
Pretty sure C's a function of t.
Did I really?
Is T a function of C?
Yes.
It said
The
it's
question
either
is
function
A
of
a
T.
function of 9?
Oh my goodness, will you please change the second question? So sorry. What's my excuse? Was it late? I don't know. It's supposed to say, is T a function of C? I definitely was getting confused. Do both of them work? So first of all, is C a function of T? Yes? No? Maybe? Why, why is it, or isn't it? What do you think? Mindy?
Because the independent variable is T, because that's like what you are inputting, like you can change your time, like the time that you spend there.
Okay,
But
going back to that change idea.
C depends on T, so like C depends on the value of T. Wait, how do you, so like if there's no, wait,
So you're saying the cost depends
on like the time you spend,
on time spent?
but the time doesn't depend
Okay.
on the cost.
Is there a unique, other than 0, is there a unique cost for each given amount of time?
Well,
Is there a unique cost for a given amount of, yeah, kind of weird, huh? So if I tell you 20 minutes, do you know how much it's going to cost? 50 cents? No questions? I mean, maybe we gotta worry about that 0. Forget about 0 for a second. 60 minutes, do you know how much it's going to cost? On the dot. Yeah, okay. That's kind of what we're trying to say. A little bit weird here. Oops, I keep forgetting where I wrote this. Yeah, so each time has a unique cost. I don't know if that makes sense. Whatever you choose the time to be, there's one cost for that. It's not going to be $2 and $3. I don't even, that would be weird. You mean I get to choose? again, that zero situation. What about, is t a function of c? So now we're going the other way. Is there a unique time for each cost? No. Nice. No, sorry about that once again. No, your own words are better than mine, I'm sure. There is not a unique time for a given cost or something like that. Let's see, another way to say that. There are multiple times with the same cost. Does that make some sense? Okay, oh goodness. So sorry. I'm gonna skip, is it practice next? I'm gonna skip that. Oh, I did want to talk about the DVDs. Real quick. Here we go. I'm just a fan of DVDs. I have too many. It's a problem. And they're like way out of date in style and all that.
They still work?
Yeah, they still work. Well, most of them. You gotta have the right player. Sometimes the new players don't play the old. I'm like, come on. Anyway, I don't have like the new stuff like Netflix and all that fun stuff, but
Netflix is so convenient.
it's so convenient.
Yeah.
I don't have Netflix.
No Netflix. Oh, there it is.
Well,
Okay,
and,
will you skip down to that?
Disney, all those.
N of T, the number of DVDs in your collection. Maybe this is kind of accurate for some households. After T trips to the video store, are there video stores anymore? It's not, they're dying out, aren't they?
Yeah.
Explain the meaning of each sentence. What is n of 0 equals 8? Least number, tell your table. What does that mean? N of 0 equals 8 in this situation.
I mean, it means that.
Zero trips is yeah, zero
I'm not
trips.
gonna
We're gonna have eight.
Ooh, I like it. Jeremiah, what was that?
That you started with 8 DVDs.
Started with 8 DVDs. Okay. Oh dear. N of, how would you read this? Carson? On B?
When you take take 3 trips, you have 14 total.
After 3 trips, you have 14 DVDs. Okay, how would you read this? I would read it N of 3 equals 14. Awesome. What does this mean? How would you read it?
Well, if you've gone to the store 5 times, you had 5, you're gonna go to store 3.
Okay. After 5 trips, you had or have more DVDs. I don't know how many you had. Than 3 trips. Okay, actually we do know how many you had after 3 trips. You had 14. So after 5 trips, you had more than 14. That would be another way, another interpretation here. Okay, what about this one? N of 7 minus n of 2 equals 10. Oh dear, I already wrote something down. After the 7th trip, you returned DVDs. You got on 2 trips and left with 10? Okay, that's interesting. I like that. What are you thinking here? The difference between DVDs I think there's a better way to say this. You had after 7 trips and 2 trips is 10? I think there's a way better way to say that, Mindy.
You'd have bought like 10 DVDs,
Nice.
like from your second trip to your seventh.
You bought a total of 10 DVDs from your second to your 7th trip. Nice. Yeah, I think that's a better way. Although, maybe I'm giving some away, so let's just stick with that. Okay. Whew. Sorry. I really wanted to get to the end here. This was like the fun I envisioned for the week other than tomorrow. However, I want to just look quickly at questions, comments. Sorry to move quickly. Want to look quickly at this. Come on, Katie, what's going on? C of t equals 1.25x plus 2500. She's then asked to find an equation, c of x divided by x, which is going to give her the average cost per DVD. So c of x is the cost of producing DVDs. Average cost, we're going to divide by how many DVDs, where x is the number of DVDs. Does that make sense? Kind of weird, right? So here we go. Divide by x. C parentheses x, divide by x is c, right? And divide everything by x. There you go. What do you think? Is it correct? What's the issue here? Carson?
You're not multiplying x, it's xc of x, and that's the function.
Awesome. C of x is a function, not a variable. So we're not going to divide it like that. Awesome, that's what I wanted you to see there. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? What's my function? Your task is to give me an input by saying f of a number, and I will tell you the output. I think it'll just help to just kind of get into it. So f of x, right, is the first one we're looking at the bottom. Okay, so you got a table, right? And you got x and f of x. Should have cut to this earlier, sorry. Avery, give me a number, and then say f of that number.
7, f of 7.
Nice. Okay. So you're going to put in your table 7, and I'm going to tell you f of 7 is equal to 6. So you can just put 6 in there if you want. Cool. Anderson, give me a number and say f of that number.
8.
8. And f of 8 is 8. Okay?
Are we supposed to like figure out the equation?
Exactly. There it is. You are trying to figure out what the equation is. When you think you have the equation, stand up. Oh, we're going to run out of time. So sorry. It's all right. Grant, give me a number and say f of that number.
3 f of 3.
F of 3 is -2. Stand up when you think you got it. Jeremiah, give me a number and say f of that number.
10 f of 10.
Thank you. 10. F of 10 is equal to, anybody know? 12. Okay, I think I'm doing this okay. Okay, nice. We got somebody standing. Gabe, give me a number and say f of that number.
15.
15. Can you tell me, Zed? F of 15?
15 is gonna be
F of 15, sorry.
I gotta do this.
22. Ooh, we got some standards. Do you have more spaces in your boxes? One more? Scarlett. 4. Anybody know what that's gonna be?
0.
F of 4 is 0. The x-intercept, nice. What's the equation? F of x equals 2x minus 8. Okay, one more real quick. I know I'm running out of time, probably not going to get it. What is it, h of x? G of x, sorry. Daisy, give me a number. 6, 7. F of G of 7, or G of 6 is 7. Sean, give me a number.
5, 8, 8.
Okay, give me 2 numbers. Okay, anybody see a pattern yet? Mads, you got a number?
3.
Anybody see a pattern? You got a number? Mindy?
Oh wait, no.
4? What's G of 4?
7.
What's the function? G of x equals 7. Is that a function? Does each input have exactly one output?
Yeah.
Do you know what the output is when I give you the input? Yes. Don't worry about those last 2. So sorry we didn't get to more. We're going to try a game tomorrow.
Try again.
Thanks for your awesome work.
Oh, Espanol.
It's hard.
You were making up
Well, I had thought about it before. I have one more that I really was hoping to get to, but
What up?
awesome work. What's up?
Unlock some skill checks from
I can't do the skill checks, but the test should be there. Are you not able to get to them?